Hello, everybody. Excited to have you all here. And it's so excited for my guest today. I have Illens Dort, and he is the owner of Maximum Impact Counsel, and he does business coaching. Thank you so much for joining me today, Illens.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Britta. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So I met Illens, a couple of months ago, and I have absolutely just loved talking with him, learning from him, and thought he would be such a benefit to share some wisdom with us today on, well, he's a business coach, obviously, but he's also written a book called The Five, oh, if I can get it in view. Oh, it's not coming in. There it goes. The Five Secret Fears. Why is it not focusing? Five Secret Fears of Failing in Business. For some reason, my camera did not like that. Anyways, so I would love to just kind of go through a little bit and share. So the focus of my month this month is kind of helping business owners set up their business for success. And so I thought going through these five fears would be really beneficial to them. So I would love for you to just kind of share with us what those are.
Very well, Britta, and I appreciate that. It is a pleasure to be on this podcast with you. I have great respect for you and admiration, and also for the wonderful things that you do with your business. I want to mention also what you do is so important for business, and specifically the bookkeeping part of it. Too often that business owners don't really take time to focus on that, and then that's where they can miss out a lot of opportunity in the area of finance. And I'm going to talk more about that when I highlight the five secret fears of failing in business.
Thank you
First
for
of all, I
that.
want to mention the reason that I decided to write this book is because that I have a passion to help people, and specifically small business owners and executives. So this book was written for that group of people. And also it can be beneficial to people in the real estate market, and also people who do door-to-door type of business, even in the multi-level marketing area. And I'm told that many people gain benefits from reading the book. So let me talk about, before I talk about the five secret fears, let me mention one key element that in the book, there are several of them. One of them is that I want to share with people that there are two resources, and I call them primary and also universal resources that we all have at our disponibility. And these resources are natural resources and human capital. You can call it human resource or human capital or human factor. But just simply put, people. When we understand how to leverage natural resources and we understand how to build lasting relationships with people, it doesn't matter what we want to do, we will be able to do those things. So
I love
uh,
that. That's such a beautifully said and so true. Like it's the key, right? Just to make great connections with people and great relationships. That's truly the foundation for building a great business, I think.
thank you. And also, in the book, let me go through the book first, and then after that, I will come back and talk about briefly about the five secret fears. In the book, there are 12 chapters plus a 13th one, which is a bonus chapter. And I design it specifically. The first chapter, that's where I go over the fundamentals, introduce the fears. The second chapter, I talk about business. Let me share one point from that chapter, is my definition of business. I say businesses are created by people or for people and all people. Too often we forget that when we are in business, we are in people business. Because if you take it out, the people element from business, we have nothing. And when you look at any business, small, medium size, or large, that definition remains true. Someone created that business. Someone created that business to solve a problem someone else has. And even if it's only one person, the owner, that business has a person, as a person. So why is that definition so important? So we can remember that it's all about people. Nothing else, nothing more. Okay, it's all about people.
Love that.
And then moving forward in the following chapters, I talk about really the importance of building good relationship with people, and I call it the human capital chapter. And then I move to the importance of leadership, because my good friend John Maxwell gives that powerful definition of the role of leadership in life and business. It says everything falls or rises on leadership. And whether you're one person in your business, you are leading your business. So we got to remember people and also the role of leadership in business. And then I talk about the importance of creating an engaging and empowering environment for everybody in the business. And we talk about what we can do to take care of our customers. In that chapter, I say customer satisfaction is the bare minimum of any business, but we need to move forward to delighting our customers. Now, if someone cannot satisfy his or her customers, they should not be in business, because that's the flaw, not the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay? Now we're going to talk about the 5 secret fears of failing in business and how to overcome them. And for the time that we have, I will name them and give a brief explanation about each one of them. Fear number 1 is the fear of people. We're not talking about being afraid of people. There are a lot of people, they are not afraid of people, but they still struggle with the fear of people. And briefly, in that book, I talk about the 6 key elements of the people fear. And I'm going to name them briefly. Element number 1 is many people have the fear of failing in front of people. It's not about speaking in front of people. Sometimes we don't want to have a huge business because we'll have employees and then we have to stand in front of people. We have to make presentation. And that fear is holding back a lot of people.
Yeah.
The
I've
other
seen that a
one,
lot.
yes. And at any time that feel free to interject, Brita.
You're great.
The other one is the fear that people may fail us. A lot of time people will not even delegate. They will not associate with other people. They just close themselves because they are afraid if they open up and allow other people to come into their lives, they may fail them. You know what? That can happen. That will happen, but we should not let this stop us from moving forward. Another one is the fear that we may fail people, right? We may fail people. And again, sometimes if we, because of this fear, we don't move forward until we think we got it perfectly right, which is not true because we never get it perfectly right. So we got to move forward. And I'll come back with time and tell more. Another one is the fear that people may discover our weaknesses, right? And we try to control it, we try to hide it. You know, by that time it's too late. If they are close to us, they already discover it. They are waiting for us to accept that we have weaknesses. Another one is the fear of having employees, right? Because it's also lack of proper education and also understanding how to work with people. That's what causes the fear to stay with us for too long.
That's a very complex thing, right? Like there's so many different aspects of fear of people that I would never have thought of all these different things. But they're all so true.
Yeah, thank you. The last one, there could be more, but in this book, I only focus on 6 of them. The last one is the fear that we are not good enough. Some people refer to it as the imposter syndrome. I just call it for what it is, the fear that we are not good enough. And the way we can overcome this one is to know that as a human being, we are good enough. That doesn't mean we need to be lazy, not trying to improve ourselves. That's not the case. But we have to start with the belief that we're good enough and we can do more. So these were the 6 key elements of the people fear. And then I'm going to talk about the fear of marketing. A lot of people don't understand even what marketing is. So even the best marketers, sometimes they make it so confusing for people to understand. In the book, I really bring it down very clearly what marketing is, what marketing is not, and then help people understand that if you have written a resume for a job, you have already prepared a marketing campaign, right? Very simple approach, but I help them understand what marketing is, what it is not, and the importance of marketing in life, in business. Okay? Then we're gonna go to the fear of sale. It's something that either that we have a misconception of it, and a lot of people say, I'm not good at sales, or sales is not a good thing. So sometimes we allow ourselves to have a negative view of what sales is or is not.
Sometimes I feel
We
like
go.
that fear of sales ties back into your first fear, the fear of people, right? Like the fear of offending people, or the fear, there's so many things where these just all kind of interact together.
I'm glad that you are making this connection. And that's why I talk about that first, right?
Yeah.
It is because we are afraid that we may fail in front of people. We're afraid that we may not be good enough, or we're afraid that someone else might reject us. It's all some personal a reflection of what people might think of us, and then that the same thing for marketing as well. So that was brilliant of you to make that connection with that. So uh, I I tell people that sale is part of life. It was since the beginning. In the old days, we used to call it trade, and we still use the principle of trading. In the old days, what it was is that you are living in a community. We didn't even use currency like money or dollars, but you're living in a community, and then some people, and it doesn't matter what civilization, some people have certain gifts and other people have other gifts. Let's say, for example, you live in a community where some people they have the gifts of building house, of building things. Other people may have a different gift. So what we used to do, we'll just trade. If I'm a great farmer and I farm a lot of food, so I'll take a load of food and I'll bring to you, and I say, in exchange for you to help me build my house, I'll give you some of my crops. It was a trade. You cannot have a society, you cannot have life without that trade. So as we move forward as a society, then we create that currency called in our country dollars. Then you say, you know what? You do this for me, you help me solve my problems, and to show satisfaction, I'll give you this amount of dollars. So all sales is finding a way to solve a problem someone has.
Yeah.
In the business, what you do, some people, they are making the money, but they need a good way to take care of the books. Then you come, you say, you know what? You have the gift to do this one. Me, I can help you organize your books. So therefore, I'll do that. I'll solve that problem for you. And then as a way to thank me, you have this compensation. It doesn't matter how you put it, sales is part of life, and it is part of business. If we see it as a way to provide a solution to someone's needs, then therefore we don't have to struggle with it. We don't have to be the best at it. We need to understand its role in life and in business. Then we talk about the next one, your area is the fear of money. Other people can make it. A lot of business owners can make it, but at the same time, they say, "Oh, there's this one. I don't want to look at it." Right? They turn their head away. It is not surprising to see a lot of business owners don't even check their finance monthly or twice a month.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I've
it
seen
could be
that.
like, yeah, take a minute and share your knowledge about that, how that fear manifests in the lives of many business owners.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I've seen that happen so many times with different business owners where I think, I don't know if there's probably different views on it, but I think some people are scared that they're not making enough, or if they don't focus on it, and that doesn't become their focus, then they'll be better off. But I've seen it so many times where, like, knowing your finances and having a good grasp of what's going on is so beneficial. Like, you want to see where your expenses are going and where your income is coming from, and tracking it, because it's going to put you that much further ahead, in every aspect. So I love the analogy there, but there is a fear of it, and it's everybody's fear is different, and and how they display that fear is different as well. So that's a great, great that you brought that in there.
Thank you. Not too long ago, someone mentioned, say, I am investing in the stock market. Ooh, lately it's been going down so much. I don't want to look at it because I'm afraid I'm losing too much. And the idea should say, no, you need to look at it to see how it's performing. If you need to make some adjustment, even though when it's going down and you're afraid you're losing, no, you need to take control of it. It's your money. And sometimes they say, we are making enough, so we don't need to look because there will be plenty. That's that's not the right way to do it. So briefly, it is that fear. But that fear also stems from the fact that we don't receive the proper education. We can admit that we go to school, it doesn't matter what level of education we have, they don't really take the time to help us understand, to have that relationship, that positive relationship with money, in the same also the positive relationship with sales as well. So that's one. So we talk about the fear of people, the fear of marketing, the fear of sales, and the fear of money. Now, the last one, I call it in the book the fear of the unknown. Right? But the way we address it in the book is talking about processes and systems. But let me go back to the fear of the unknown. Right? Too often, when we are facing or we are moving into the area of uncertainty, we spend too much time in the unknown because we are afraid. Like for example, that when we had the pandemic, a lot of people were panicking. Oh, we don't know what's going to happen. Now we have the inflation. We don't know what's going to happen. And the reality is that in my research and also observation, when you are looking at a problem, which is an unknown, 80 to 90% of that part is already known, right? It's only a small portion of the problem that we need to find solution. But what we do, we spend too much time and resources worrying about the unknown, which we should spend time and resources understanding what we already have and how we can leverage the things that we know how to do, we know well, so we can come up with the solution on how to solve the unknown, right? Again, something that is so simple and we forget is that knowing how to use natural resources or whatever things that we have already, things, and leverage the relationship and the knowledge and the experiences of people around us. So focus our energy on the solution, not so much on the problem. And that's one. But in the book, I mentioned that if we have processes and established processes and systems in our business right at the beginning, then we will have the strength in the foundation to navigate the unknown or even to find the solution.
So beautiful.
These are the, in short, the 5 secret fears of the of failing in business. And I will invite the listeners to check it out. You can go to my site, illens.com. You can download a free, the first chapter, which is powerful, of the book. You can download it for free. And then if you want to know more about the book, you can contact me. But it's a great book.
Yeah.
As the author, I read it very frequently.
Yeah, I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. It's been so educational, but every time I talk to you, I feel like it just like expounds all the wisdom that's in there and just keeps going. I just love listening and learning from you. So thank you for sharing and being willing to join us today. If people have questions, or can they reach out to you?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we'll go ahead and
I am a
post your
servant. If you
email
have
and
questions, reach out to me in and out.
okay,
I'll help.
great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this today, Illens. I really appreciate it and need to have you back on here again sometime. It was so much fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you.